Hello everybody and welcome to my channel at Arts by Ash. Today we are going to be making a galaxy painting. So I just prepped all my colors. I have cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, magenta light, emerald green, and I think this is, viridian green. And then of course I've got black and white. And then I have a already primed black canvas with a little water cup for my sponge to dip into, as well as I have these cosmetic sponges or wedges I got from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to try. If it's not working, I also have one of these craft sponges. Lastly, I have a few different types of paintbrushes I might try and work with. And then I have a toothbrush, which this is always super good for applying stars all over our galaxy. And then a paper towel if I need to dry off my sponge if it gets a little too wet. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by picking a color, and when we apply a color, we're going to put it in a diagonal manner with our sponge. And if it gets to be too bright, we dip black into our color and try and dull it out a little bit. So this is definitely trial and error, so we're going to see how it goes. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with maybe like a pink. And these sponges are pretty little, so we'll see exactly how good it works. But I think I'm going to start with pink and maybe dip a little bit of white. And we're going to start applying it in a diagonal manner. And you have to work pretty quickly because the paint will dry. We're just kind of blend it out. And I think that this sponge is going to work pretty well. I would say try and not make it like super straight, like maybe make other parts maybe a little bit wider than others, and maybe just fill in certain parts darker. The trick is to blend it really well. So this is what I'm going to start with, and maybe I'll dip a little more white up here with my pink. And later on, it's okay if it's pretty intense right now because we can always add black over. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch colors now. So I applied some pink, and I think I'm going to put purple next to the pink. I mean, it's technically ultramarine blue, but it's a pretty purpley color. I'm going to mix it a little bit with some white. We're going to see how that color looks. I guess that looks pretty blue. See, I think that might be too white, so what I'm going to do is only dip some of that ultramarine and kind of spread it out. So I'm definitely going to go over this with a lot of black, but right now we're just trying to get some color on our canvas. And if I have too much paint, I might just squeeze some out onto my towel. It's a lot of dabbing, as you can tell, but it does seem to be applying pretty well. So you can see I applied some pink in a diagonal manner. Now I'm doing some blue, and then I think I'm going to choose maybe this lighter blue. This is cerulean blue, so I'm gonna dip a little bit of that in, and I think I'm just gonna put it right below here and blend it into this blue. And it's pretty bright blue, so I'm definitely gonna have to put some black over that shortly. I think I might add a little bit of white as well to help it kind of blend in. Again, you gotta work pretty quickly, right? Because it will dry pretty fast. But these little sponges are really nice. I mean, there's 28 in a package from the Dollar Tree, which is awesome, and they apply super well. I do wish they were a little bigger, but it's definitely a good bang for your buck. So I actually did a light blue into a dark blue, and I've got my pink over here. I think I'll start putting my greens on. So I have a dark green and a light green. I'm gonna start with my light green and a little bit of white. So you kind of dip a corner in here and a corner in here. We're gonna do this. And this is a project I'm gonna be doing with my summer camp students, where we have a space and robots themed week. So this is what we're gonna be doing for one of our first projects, is a little galaxy. And I might see if they might want to add some planets after they splatter some stars on. This is definitely looking really cool. I'm gonna mellow it out with some darker green now. I'll try and blend it in a little bit. And again, I think I have too much paint, so I'm gonna kind of squeeze some off because the sponge definitely soaks up paint pretty well. And I know my students are gonna love doing this. It's really fun. It is a little messy, but it comes off really easily on your hands, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. This is looking really pretty. I like the colors I chose. They're really vibrant. Make sure you're leaving some black spaces on your canvas. That will really help it turn out really nicely. Again, I'm gonna go back over at the end with some black and try and dull my colors a little bit. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put more, I might put like a darker pink in this corner. So what I might do is just dip some pink and then just a tiny bit of black and see if I can put some over here. It's gonna be really dulled, but just enough that you might be able to see a little bit. I can see it, but you guys probably can't see it super well on the camera, but it does look very natural. So I might do the same thing like over here in this top left corner by the green. Just take some green and then dip a corner as well in the black. Not a lot of black though, because black is a very strong color and it will cover up other colors very fast and easily. So you always want to take less black than you think, especially when you're mixing colors as well. So it's looking pretty good. I have good colors laid out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my black and I'm gonna just kind of spread it out around my canvas a little bit and try and dull out my colors some. I'm not gonna have a lot on my sponge because again, black is really strong, but it does kind of help, you'll see, kind of blend everything together, which is kind of cool. And if you can get this black to blend while some of your other colors are still wet, it'll make your life like 10 times easier. So that's why it's like work quickly for sure. It's kind of a slow but fun process. This makes me want to try it with different colors for sure. I got these canvases already primed black from Amazon. So it just kind of saved me a step, and they came in like a pack of 14 for my students to use. It's really works really well. You may even want to get your sponge a tad bit wet if you notice that your painting is kind of getting dry, and that might help you as well. It looks like it's actually working really well now. So that's a good a little trick. This is looking awesome. Ignore my computer talking to me in the background. And I think that we have a beautiful galaxy. I can lift it up a little bit for you to see. Got some pretty colors. And now the fun part is we're gonna put our stars on. So there's different ways to apply stars. One of my favorites is dipping a toothbrush in some white paint and then flicking it on. Sometimes it doesn't flick very well if you don't have water, but this is applying beautifully. That's so pretty. I might do it like one more time, try and get bigger flecks. That is so beautiful. Love it. You're gonna get super messy. Just be ready to wash your hands at the end. And I might take my little black sponge one more time and dull out a few areas, I think. But this looks really pretty. And I like how you can see the colors peeking through under the stars. And lastly, what I might try is just taking a small brush and just dipping and making maybe a few bigger stars throughout my painting, right? Because some are closer to us. Maybe I'll put 3 by each other, right? This part's just for fun. Make it random, make it cute. You could maybe try and spell something out, make some constellations. And of course, at the end, always sign your piece. So I will probably do that at the end. But this looks so cute. I know that it's gonna be a ton of fun to make, and it's really easy. Just remember to always apply in diagonal lines when you're applying your colors. And when you apply your colors, blend them really, really well, right? And there we go. We have a beautiful galaxy. Ta-da! So have fun, check out my channel, and we can learn some other fun ways to make art. Thank you, bye.